In this video we'll be talking about what I think will happen in the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 5, which is going to be coming out on the following Wednesday. But first of all, I just want to thank you guys for all the positive reviews and feedback on this video about Chapter 4. So it's pretty much clear that we will be seeing Din Djarin at some point in this series, and I think that Chapter 5 seems to be the best point to add him into the story. If he's going to have stakes. If it's just a brief cameo, then they don't need to really bother. But Chapter 5, if he's actually stakes, would be the best point. So this got me thinking, if Boba's recruiting bounty hunters, what other bounty hunters is he going to be recruiting? But first of all, I want to start off with two of the classics. First of all, going over Dengar, and I talked about him in a recent video, so you guys can go watch that for more details. But Dengar's actor has teased possible appearance in Book of Boba Fett, maybe, or a later season of this or The Mandalorian. But that'd be really cool. He's worked with Boba before, and in Legends, Boba Fett was the best man at his wedding. Next up, we've got another one of the classics, being Bosk. Now, Bosk has also worked with Boba loads of times in the comics, the Clone Wars, and the movies, and he is a Trandoshan bounty hunter. And now that we know that Black Stanton, another bounty hunter from the comics, is working with Boba, we have got some idea of something that could happen. So we saw Black Stanton fighting Trandoshans in the most recent episode, being Chapter 4, and got to see him in action against Trandoshans, which was a really cool scene. Got another fight scene with Black Stanton, which is really cool. But if you don't know, Trandoshans, they hunt Wookiees, and Bosk is another Wookiee hunter. He started off as a Wookiee hunter before he became a bounty hunter, and he ate all his hatchmates at birth, so he's a proper bounty hunter. And fight between him and Black Stanton is being heavily teased by that scene. So I'd love to see him and Black Stanton go up against each other in Book of Boba Fett. I think that'd be a great scene to have, and a good fight scene that would make a lot of people enjoy this series even more. Now, moving on to Clone Wars bounty hunters, we've got Cad Bane, who was a sort of mentor for Boba and friends with Django and the top bounty hunter in the Clone Wars. He's my second favourite bounty hunter of all time. Cad Bane, he's a great bounty hunter. Really cool hat, and he's pretty much invincible. And the Bad Batch Season 1 revealed that he did survive the Clone Wars, which means I think if he can survive the Clone Wars, he can survive anything, which means I think he'll still be around at the time of this show. The next Clone Wars bounty hunter we've got is Embo. Now, Embo is my favourite bounty hunter. He's got this really cool helmet/hat that he can use as a shield, a frisbee, a snowboard. You can use it for so many things. He's got a bowcaster just like a Wookiee, and he was the second best bounty hunter in the Clone Wars, only to Cad Bane. He completed the second most missions, and in all the stats he was second best to Cad Bane. But he's a top tier bounty hunter, and he's gone up against Jedi like Anakin Skywalker and kept his life, which is an amazing feat. The final Clone Wars bounty hunter I want to mention is Sugi. Now, Sugi is a tough Zabrakian female bounty hunter who is very loyal to her clients, which if Boba's looking for loyalty, then she would be a top pick to go for. I think she would have survived the Clone Wars, as she's very good in hand-to-hand combat and even stayed level with Darth Maul in a fight. Next up is another bounty hunter from the comics, that being Violet Valance. If we got Black Stanton, then surely we're going to get him soon. Now, he actually went on a mission with Dengar in the comics, which was a really cool mission. I recommend you guys read that, where they tracked down Darth Vader, and Valance was double-crossed by Dengar, but he was able to escape with his life, which is something that not many people can claim. But that is pretty cool, and I think Valance would be cool to see in live action. If you're wondering why Boba will need to team up with all these bounty hunters, then it's to tackle the threat of the Pikes. See, the Pike Syndicate are trying to take over Tatooine, as we've seen, and we don't really know why, but they just want to take over Mos Espa in particular, which is Boba's territory. So Boba's going to defend this with his life, and he's hiring bounty hunters. As we've seen, he's got Black Stanton, he's looking for Mando, he's got his own Rancor, he's sort of preparing for war. He talks about going to war with the Pikes, and I think episode 5 will show us the early altercations between the two sides. I think something that would be really cool would to have like some of the bounty hunters working for the Pikes. I can imagine Cad Bane sort of leading the Pikes as he's worked with the Separatists before, sort of leading them against Boba. Cad Bane is a top tier duelist, and I think he'd be a great leader for the Pikes. Or they could hire another bounty hunter, I'm not really sure who, maybe someone like Dengar, to work with the Pikes, so there's more experienced soldiers. So that's what I will think will happen in the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 5. Please tell me your thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett. I think these last three final episodes are key and make or break for the show. If you haven't already been sold on the show, then these episodes will change how you think about it. And finally, if you're new around here, if you could subscribe. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers as soon as possible, and only 5% of you guys are subscribed, so if the other 95% could subscribe, that would mean the world to me, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.